Chevrolet, spelled across the front in steel and black, doesn't describe the truck, it issues a challenge. By the end of this video, you'll understand why GM built an HD truck with carbon fiber door panels and a blue illuminated command console, and why that decision is more strategically significant than anything they've done in the 2500 HD segment in the last decade. There's one interior decision in this truck that directly addresses a complaint professional HD buyers have been making for 10 years, and it has nothing to do with Powertrain. I'll get there. And is the Duramax Elite worth its premium over a Ram 2500 Power Wagon? My answer involves a calculation most buyers don't run until year 3. We're covering the interior, the exterior, and the powertrain. And the origin of this brief? It reportedly didn't come from Chevrolet's truck product team at all. It came from fleet managers who'd been losing experienced drivers to Ram, and the reason they gave explains every decision in this cabin. Here's the most significant decision in this truck, and it's not the powertrain. Every serious HD buyer already knows what a Duramax does. It's the interior, and more specifically, why this one exists at all. HD truck buyers spend more hours in their work truck's cab than in any other vehicle they own. For a foreman running a 12-hour job site day or a rancher hauling livestock across 3 states, the cab isn't transportation. It's a mobile command center that determines how functional that person is by the end of the day. The HD segment has historically ignored this, delivering cab specs that belonged in a rental car while charging $80,000 for a tow rating. The Duramax Elite is GM's direct answer to that problem, and that answer, frankly, was overdue by about 10 years. My opinion, this is the most strategically significant thing Chevrolet has done in the HD segment since they pushed the Duramax past 900 pound-feet of torque, because it finally addresses the daily experience of the truck's actual users, not just its towing sheet. Speculative tech number 1. Predictive diesel preconditioning. The Duramax Elite uses GPS gradient data and trailer load sensing to precondition the turbocharger and SCR aftertreatment catalyst before peak load demand, not in response to it. When navigation detects an upcoming steep grade with a loaded trailer, the system begins pre-cycling the turbo wastegate and preheating the DEF catalyst approximately 90 seconds ahead of peak demand. The engineering rationale: a diesel at full thermal equilibrium throughout the aftertreatment system produces significantly less transient torque dip than one responding to demand cold. The truck arrives at the grade already prepared. It doesn't breathe in before it pushes out. The powertrain engineering makes a strong case. The interior built around it is where that engineering investment becomes something you actually live with every day. The full carbon fiber door panel on this truck is not there to look expensive, and that's the point. A solid carbon door card doesn't resonate in the mid-frequency range where diesel engine harmonics intrude at highway speed. ABS plastic and wood trim do. For any HD truck owner who spent 3 days towing a fifth wheel and arrived at the destination with a headache from cab noise, that distinction is felt before it's analyzed. The Bose speaker integration visible at the lower panel is designed around the panel's acoustic properties, rather than added to whatever space was left, and that sequencing matters for sound quality. The center console's rotary controller with the blue LED indicator ring is the most distinctively engineered element in this cabin. The ring isn't ambient lighting, it's a state indicator that changes visual mode with drive mode selection. In a job site environment where the operator may be wearing gloves and managing multiple systems simultaneously, visual state confirmation at the console is more reliable than a small screen readout requiring downward glance. Speculative tech number 2. Glove mode haptic differentiation. The rotary controller delivers distinct vibration rhythms for different functions: a firm triple pulse for 4-wheel drive engagement, a smooth continuous drag for audio volume, a double click pulse for trailer brake gain. The engineering rationale: heavy work gloves reduce fine fingertip tactile sensitivity, but rhythm differentiated haptics remain identifiable through any glove material thickness. This logic comes directly from commercial aviation, where gloved operators need tactile differentiation between adjacent controls without visual confirmation. Where I think the execution has room to improve, the secondary console touchscreen below the main rotary controller sits low enough to require more downward eye travel than is ideal at highway speed. That information should migrate into the primary display rather than requiring a separate dedicated glance. The cab makes a serious argument for being treated as a working environment, not just a seating arrangement. The backstory behind why it was built this way is what makes the exterior section land differently. Here's what I can tell you now. The Duramax Elite brief reportedly didn't come from Chevrolet's truck product team. It came from fleet managers across the Permian Basin and Pacific Northwest construction sector who had been moving experienced drivers to Ram specifically over cab quality. That feedback reached GM's HD division. Everything you've seen in this cabin is the direct engineering response. The Chevrolet lettered front grille isn't a heritage decision. The horizontal channel spacing is sized for the Duramax's intercooler airflow requirements under sustained full-load towing. Typography as engineering constraint made visible. That's the correct framing. The hood power dome is not optional on a 975 pound-foot diesel. It accommodates the intercooler stack height the engine requires at full boost. You cut a hole in the hood because something needed the clearance. The fact that it looks aggressive is a byproduct, not the intention. The wide fender flares accommodate a significantly broader track, improving lateral stability under the load transfer that occurs when towing at or near maximum payload rating on uneven terrain. The exact scenario this truck's buyers actually encounter. Overall length, approximately 231 inches in crew cab configuration on a 148-inch wheelbase. Ground clearance at approximately 9 inches in standard configuration. This exterior holds because every design decision carries a functional load-bearing rationale. Nothing on it is purely cosmetic. The exterior makes the visual argument. The diesel makes the functional one. The 6.6-liter Duramax delivers 470 horsepower and 975 pound-feet of torque. The Ram 2500 Power Wagon runs a 6.4-liter gasoline Hemi, producing 410 horsepower and 429 pound-feet of torque. That's a 546 pound-foot torque gap, not a marginal number. Any experienced trailer operator who has worked a loaded fifth wheel up a sustained grade in both trucks will tell you the difference is felt immediately and sustained. One truck pulls, the other one works. For anyone who's towed at the Ram Power Wagon's limits on a mountain grade, the Duramax at low RPM will feel like a different category of machine, because in terms of torque delivery under sustained load, it is. Speculative tech number 3. Adaptive load sensing air suspension. The rear suspension augments the leaf spring setup with air assist and individual corner strain gauges in the bed mount structure. Rather than simply maintaining ride height under payload, the system reads asymmetric load distribution if 70% of the payload has shifted to the right side of the bed. Each corner compensates independently. This matters specifically with weight-distributing hitches, where hitch geometry creates lateral leverage that conventional suspension treats as a single, even load. The Duramax Elite distributes the correction correctly, not equally. The chassis and powertrain case is complete. Whether it's priced where professional buyers can justify it is where the full argument either holds or doesn't. Now, here's what I actually think, and I'll be completely straight with you. The Duramax Elite closes the cab quality argument that Ram has been winning for the last 5 years. The diesel closes the torque argument that Hemi owners don't want to have. The question isn't whether it delivers on both. It does. The question is whether the pricing lands where the buyers who actually need this combination can justify writing the check. Pricing for the Silverado 2500 HD Duramax Elite is expected to land between $82,000 and $98,000 fully configured. A loaded Ram 2500 Power Wagon with the gasoline Hemi runs approximately $70,000 to $75,000. The Ford F-250 Super Duty Platinum with the Power Stroke diesel sits around $85,000 to $100,000. The Elite doesn't undercut either significantly on sticker, and it doesn't need to. The value proposition isn't on the window sticker, it's in the ownership math. A Duramax diesel at professional fleet use rates runs lower cost per mile than any gasoline HD alternative. For any buyer putting $30,000 or more miles per year on a work truck, that difference is real money over 5 years. Diesel also holds depreciation better at high mileage than gasoline HD trucks, a number that matters at trade-in time. Here's the call. If you're a professional HD buyer who spends serious hours in the cab and needs genuine diesel torque for real towing work, this is the strongest all-in combination in this segment right now. The cab finally matches the driveline. If off-road crawling hardware, disconnecting front sway bar, worn winch, and purpose-built rock-crawling geometry is your primary metric, the Ram 2500 Power Wagon still owns that conversation. But if you're hauling for a living, the choice isn't close. At the open, I said Chevrolet spelled across the front was a challenge. Having walked the full picture, predictive diesel preconditioning, haptic glove mode interface, load sensing adaptive suspension, that challenge is backed up by everything under it. I genuinely love your take, especially if you've owned a Silverado HD or cross-shopped it against a Ram diesel. Drop your thoughts below. If you want to see how the Duramax Elite stacks up against the F250 Super Duty Platinum directly, that video is right here. If this kind of real, no-nonsense automotive analysis is what you're looking for, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.